I'm Sherry Platt, and this is Taking the Leap, where I interview really interesting people who made the leap from working in the corporate sector or from one position into another. And I'm sitting here today at the Museum of Motherhood in St. Petersburg, Florida. I just had to come by and see this amazing location. And while I was here, I got to meet Caroline. And Caroline started talking about what she's doing now, and I just thought she's the perfect person to talk about her leap that you took. So, Caroline, can you give me a little bit of background on what you were doing before? You said you were raising children.
So I raised two boys mostly in Connecticut, and I really wanted to spend the majority of my time being at home with them, but then also using my own gifts and talents to make a difference in the world, be of service, and to also bring in income. And I have a natural ability as an organizer of physical objects in your space.
Okay.
And I'm a gifted intuitive healer. So I developed, my company is called The Relaxologist.
That's great. I love
And
it.
so I really work with people from the inside out. I teach them how to be calm in the middle of a storm. So no matter what the changes that they're going through, whether they're selling their house or whether their business office is in chaos or they're retiring, I can come in and say, okay, let's just take some breaths right now. Let's work on where you're at right now. And let's identify mentally and emotionally where you might be getting in your way. Because once we do that, once we clear the inner space, then we can make much better decisions in terms of the goal, where I want to go to. Like my most recent client who couldn't sell her apartment, I worked with her. I said, well, if you keep saying that, you're never going to sell it. And then where do you want to go? So I had to write down where she wanted to live. Happy to say, a year and a half later, she had a cash buyer for her apartment. She's moved into a beautiful place in Brooklyn and got everything that she put on her wish list.
It sounds like when you're helping people to organize, that you're actually organizing their energy as much as anything else. Right, their energy and intention.
My big thing, is empowering the person.
Okay.
So I don't go in and say, hey, here's my system of, how you set up your kitchen. I sit with the individual person and I say, tell me how you want it to be. What's your vision?
One of the things I thought was really, really interesting is that you are, say a little bit more about what you're doing with professors who collect all these books.
Well, so one of my clients right now is an amazing woman, and I can't give out names because of privacy. So she is retired from CUNY and Queens College in New York. So what we had to do is go into her office and establish, what books do you want to keep? Now, you want to keep all of these books. Where are they going to go? Do you have room in your apartment? Can we distribute to the students? So making decisions based on the person being able to hold on to the books, in this case, that really mean a lot to them. And then how can we resource those books out? Are there students in the college who can use them? Are there places like the Strand Bookstore? Are there, finding resources so that, because books have been going through this huge evolution, as we know, but books are sacred. They are, they're still the physical embodiment of that author's work.
I love that.
So having a deep respect really for the person's career. So acknowledging, what have they done? Because it can be very hard when people retire. They're like, well, it's all, who am I now? So I really get them to reflect on what, if they could even imagine of the effect on how many people's lives they've made a difference. And then the books, again, they're authors. So, how to, acknowledge really the body of work that they've done, and to create a peace of mind, because the books are like people in their lives. People who've been teachers and professors, or even private citizens. Books are, they're they're a sacred thing. So helping them to really let go with ease and peace of mind that they're not going to end up in the landfill.
So if somebody's interested in your service, how do they find you?
Well, my website currently is healercaroline.com.
How do you spell Caroline?
Caroline.
Wonderful. And just out of curious, how long ago did you start the book piece?
Those clients I've been working with for the last 4 years.
Okay. So I think it's important to know that you can continue to transform your career over time, over and over and over again, and that it never stops, because we never stop evolving.
Right.
So our work can evolve too. I want to thank you for taking the time to be with us today on Taking the Leap.
Could I say one more thing?
You certainly
like
can.
What you just said.
Absolutely.
Is have the bravery to explore all the things that you love doing. That, yes, career is really important. Finances are incredibly important. And don't stop yourself from doing something that you absolutely love because you don't know how to do it. Have confidence in the fact that when you do what you love, you will draw people around you.
Well, what's the first 4 letters of the word career?
CARE.
Care.
Yeah.
Right?
Be brave. Be brave. It's all about bravery.
Bravery or something. Bravery could be.
I'll work
on that. I'll work on that. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you
I really
so
appreciate your
much.
time
This
today.
is great.
And thanks for joining us for Taking the Leap.
Thanks, everybody.